lifestyle. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Black Male Advice TV, also known as Ringo TV Raw. Today, what we're going to be talking about is green screen production. Green screen production 101. Here on YouTube, a lot of content creators are making videos, and you may want to step your game up. You may want to bring forth content that is a little more on the professional side. So what I would like to do throughout this particular show here is give you some basic understandings of green screen production, as well as different equipment and tools you would need. We will cover different software that you can use and different tips and tricks that you can actually implement within your production online on social media that can give your videos greater quality, and you'll be able to reach a new level of productivity with the quality of your content. Green screen production, or green screen work, formerly known as chroma keying, is something that the movie industry uses all the time. Various people have been involved in this kind of work, and for whatever reason, this is something that helps out a lot of people's work. It make your videos stand out from the crowd. With chroma keying or this type of work, you can literally take yourself to another world. You can literally transport into another place. For example, I'm not on camera, but you see my image on the screen, and you can see a background behind me, and it's very clear, and it's, it looks very professional, and I can pretty much share my commentary, and I don't have to be on camera. But when you use chroma keying or green screen, you can also use a blue screen. We'll get into that possibly in another video. But with green screen, you can be on camera. And let's say, for example, you're not in the best environment in terms of a studio, right? But you want to have a professional background. You want to stand out from the crowd. You want to make your audience see you step your game up to a higher level. Then with chroma keying or green screen production, you can literally transform your set or your presentation on YouTube to be even better. You can post these videos all over the web, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever. And the more creative you are with green screen, the better your content will become as you understand more or less how to do things. So what I would like to go into is some basic things you would understand or things you would need. For example, when it comes to setting up your room or the environment that you're in, you're going to need basic tools. You're going to need a green screen. A lot of times people will find some art paper and they'll glue that together to create some sort of background that's green. That may work, but when it comes to taking your work to another level, you want to be as professional as possible. it costs. At the end of the day, it pays to buy the best. So when it comes to this type of work, you want to make sure that you are pretty much researching the best quality equipment and material for the job. Now, there are cheaper ways you can do things. We'll get into that. Let's say, for example, you don't want to spend an arm and a leg for different types of green screens that have great quality material. You can use chroma key and paint, or if that paint is a little too expensive for you and you want something a little more affordable, you can pretty much color match. In other words, you can find a green screen color pretty much online, any sort of color that's a green screen. And you could just go down to your local Home Depot or Lowe's and pretty much color match till you find the right type of shade of green. And you can use that green paint to paint a wall in your house, apartment, or wherever you dwell, and pretty much paint the whole wall. You would have to purchase a flat base color, right? And that would pretty much give you exactly what you need to pretty much perform or use as a green screen background. Actually, if you can paint an entire room in a green color or have a section, you can really do some great production. If you have a large room within your home, you can paint one wall blue for a blue screen, and you can paint another wall green. All of these things I might cover in separate videos that can give you a greater idea of how to do all these different things. But that's pretty much what you would do on the cheap. But even though it's on the cheap, it can really be very professional if you know how to do it. Anyway, what I would recommend is for you to buy a professional green screen that can be used to give your videos the type of quality that will pretty much key out so that you're able to do what you see me doing on the screen right here. For example, you see an image of me, and what I've done is I've cut out the background of the image and turned it into a ping image, which is a transparent image. And when I apply that to the screen, what happens is I can put a background behind me and it would make me appear as if though I'm somewhere else, right? But this is what I would want you to pretty much more or less focus on, is something along the lines of this. This would be a typical green screen setup. You would have your green screen, and then you would pretty much have the background in terms of your, where you're going to place the green screen on. This is a pull down green screen. This particular brand of green screen is actually what I use. The same one that you see on the screen is actually what I own, right? Because you can hang that from your ceiling, a wall, wherever. It's sturdy and it's not going to fall, and it's securely on the wall. I prefer this particular brand. This particular brand is called Elgato. This video is not being endorsed by Elgato, but I use their products and I find them to be very professional and what I need when it comes to doing live streams and other different content. Now, you would want to have your green screen on a wall or on a ceiling, or I'm going to show you another set of green screen that you can actually use, but you need lights. Lights are very important. You cannot just get a background and just throw there a green screen and just be in a room that have a regular light on the ceiling and try to key that out professionally. It's not going to work. So what you want is to have a light on the right and the left, right? So that it can illuminate the background. And what it's going to do is going to make the green screen look even more green. This would allow you to key yourself out. I'm going to give you a little example of what's going on, but I want to give you more insight on things you may need when it comes to this particular type of work. So what I would recommend when you are using a green screen setup like this is to have a ring light. I'm going to add that in right here. This is what you call a ring light. Now, the ring light, I would recommend that you use this as the key light for the front. In other words, you're the subject. You're the one that is going to be standing in front of the green screen. If you're sitting on a desk, you can place a green screen right behind you. But I would recommend that you have a ring light, because if you notice with the ring light, in the center, there is a 1/4 inch part where you can attach a camera, a DSLR camera. You can attach even an optional adapter that can hold a cell phone. If you're recording on a cell phone, you can do chroma keying on pretty much everything. Any sort of camera you can use to do this particular type of work. Now, the reason why you would want your camera in the center with the light around you is because as you look into the camera, the light won't be blinding you. You will be more or less focused on the camera lens. So having a DSLR type camera would be the best option when doing this type of work, because it can sit right in the middle of the ring light. You can have the ring light on your desk, behind your computer monitor, and it would be the perfect complement to any sort of setup. So please keep that in mind, that a ring light is an essential part of this tool pack that you would need to do professional green screen work. Now, what I want to take you into is a basic example of what this would look like in real time. So I'm going to take this off right here, and I am going to go into something else. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Here we go. All right. Let me see. All right, here we go. This is a plain green screen here. This is, all right. Check this out right here. Now, that's obviously a background with my logo. We have 2 Elgato lights. Now, what I want to do is I want to put in a green screen just so you can see what's going on. This is another form of green screen that would help you in your work. Let's say, for example, you're sitting at a desk and you don't have means of hanging a green screen on the ceiling or a wall. Elgato actually sell a green screen that you can literally fold all the way down, and you can pull it up, and it would stay up perfectly straight by itself. And you can literally place that right behind you while you're sitting at your desk, and you can set up your key lights to pretty much illuminate the green screen, and then have your ring light in front of you on your desk, and you can go live and do professional content. Now, that's the green screen right there. Now, what I want to do is I want to place a subject in front of it to give you an understanding of exactly what it would be like if we were using real subjects to do this particular work. Now, as you can see based on the screen, we have a subject of a black male in a suit, and he's in front of the green screen. You would want the lights to be behind you, and you want to be pretty much at least 4 to 5 feet away from the green screen. Now, if you're in a small space, then that may not be optional. But under those circumstances, you're going to have to do the best you can so that the light that is illuminating the background is not illuminating you. You want to separate yourself from the two. So when you are pretty much engaging in green screen production, you want the lights that are in the background illuminating the green screen to only go on the green screen. You don't want it to bleed on you. You get me? You want your key light that is in front of you, the ring light. You want that light to illuminate you. You don't want it too bright, and you don't want it too low. You want it enough that it don't cast shadows. Do you feel me? So the main left and right lights are what illuminates the background. Those are the lights that you must have. These are essential items you must add to your shopping cart when it comes to this. Now, if you don't want to get Elgato products, you can find other products that you can use on the cheap. You can get a couple of lights from Home Depot for about $5, $10, and you can pretty much have those as your lights. You know what I mean? Depending on the color temperatures, you can use different types of fluorescent lighting to light a green screen, but it depends on the color temperature, because the color temperature of the light can pretty much throw off the color of the green screen. So it's best to use as professional equipment as possible because it's designed for this particular type of work. So we have the subject there on the screen and everything seems to be good. We have the lighting, everything is right. So now let's take this particular subject into pretty much a full green screen background to kind of see how this would look if it was just totally green screen, right? So now this is how, let's just say you had a whole room and it's fully green. This is a full backdrop of a green screen. That is what you would get. Now, with proper lighting, that is the color of how your green screen should look when you have it properly lit. When you have the proper lighting, this is how your green screen should look. It should be crisp, it should be sharp, and when you look in your camera, when everything is set properly, when your white balance is set properly, which is something we may have to get into in another video, but if I could just touch on it real quick, when you set your white balance on your camera, what you're essentially doing is getting the proper colors to pretty much deal with the lighting within your space, within your room. And setting your white balance is very important because if it's off, everything's going to be off, from your skin tone, the colors of your clothes, everything is going to be out of whack, you know, and you don't want that. So you want to get everything right from jump. So you want to make sure the white balance on your DSLR, your cell phone, everything is perfectly in sync so that you can pretty much have the proper colors, so that when you are in front of your green screen, it's sharp, just like that. The edges are sharp. It's easy to key out. Every software can actually key out the background. You can use Premiere. You can use Final Cut Pro X. You can use even for doing live shows, you can use OBS. You can use OBS and you can do chroma keying or green screen work with that. There's a feature in there, I'll do that in another video tutorial, where you can literally key out the background during a live stream, right? You can use software like ScreenFlow. That's another form of software that you can use as well to key out the background. Pretty much any editing software you can key out the background. And pretty much when you do stuff like that, you can get results like this. You see that? That's what it would happen if you key out the background. You would get stuff like that, which is pretty cool when you really think about it. It looks very cool. It can add a lot of value to your videos. There's so many different things you can do when it comes to green screen work. You can literally put yourself in any location. You can engage with your audience in ways that most people may never be able to do without it. It'll take your productivity to a whole nother level. And the more you understand it, the better creativity you will be able to accomplish when it comes to this particular type of work. So as you see, the green screen is lit. We have the subject. We're able to take him and do whatever. And again, depending on the type of green screen you have, if it's a larger green screen, you could do greater work because it's more wide. You have more space. You could get a full body shot. If your green screen pretty much, it allows you to capture the lower portion of your body, you could get a full body shot in your shows where people can see you just like this. There's ways you can literally be on camera just like this doing a live show and standing in a whole virtual world, right? But for most of you, when you're doing your shows, you might be in a situation where when you're on camera, you're more in a position like this where people see you like that. You understand? So in a situation like that, when you're in front of your green screen and you pretty much, display yourself, it'll be something like that. You get what I'm saying? So there's different ways in which you can do your content. You can have yourself in a half body position, full body, a very close up. You can do green screen work where you're using different focal lengths, different lens, 16 millimeter lens, 30 millimeter lens, 50 millimeter, 80 millimeter. Depends on the type of angles you want. You can do that with green screen work, and it would take your production to a whole new level, people. So that being said, let me see if I could take this off the screen real quick. I'm doing all of this in real time, right? So we have the guy there. So that particular green screen is a great option for content creators to take their production to another level. And again, you might have a very nice looking studio, but sometimes you may want to make content that take you out of your studio into a whole nother world. With green screen, you can do music videos, and you could put yourself wherever you want to put yourself, depending on how you do it. The more you understand how to do green screen, the more realistic you'll be able to make it, and you'll convince your audience that you're really there, And it's very fun the more you learn about this. So we have the green screen that we need to understand. We have the lighting. We know that we need a ring light. You must have a ring light, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, you don't have to get it, but if you want professional work, right, where you're able to set up your lights, your cameras, and everything, this is the product that you need. I highly recommend the Elgato ring light because I actually own 2 of them. And I think that product is definitely on the money. And with the Stream Deck, you're able to control the lights on the fly with the controls. You could literally dim the lights. You can change the color temperatures. It's so much you can do while you're streaming. If you're a brother who streams, if you're a lady who streams, if you're someone who do makeup, so-called ring light will benefit you greatly because you could be right in front of your DSLR camera and you're the type of sister that may do makeup or whatever the case is, and it would give you sort of like a beauty shot or some sort of situation like that. And a lot of women are using ring lights, but the Elgato light for me is much more professional. And to me, it allows me more flexibility to be able to change the color temperatures so that it can match your skin, so it can match your clothing. It's so many different things that you can do and utilize that can make your live shows even more exciting to be a part of. So the tools that I recommend when you're doing green screen work is 2 Elgato key lights, 1 ring light, and a green screen. I prefer this particular green screen right here. Let me see if I can pull that up on the screen. This is a pull down green screen, right? Let me see. Hold on a second. Plain. All right. That's the green screen that I own right there. The pull down green screen. It's larger than the other one, and it's actually wider, which will allow you to do more things like move your arms around. You can act like you're running. You can do all sorts of videos where you're acting like you're running. And then when you pretty much key yourself out, you could put a background that's moving and it'll make you look like you're in another world. And your audience will be amazed when they see the type of creative things you're able to do. So I recommend this particular green screen. It's very affordable, and the lighting is very affordable, and you'll have a great setup. So how do you put all of this together when you're recording? Well, it's pretty simple. If you're a one-man band, one-man army, and that's how you do your work, then you have to understand how to put everything together so that you're able to get results when it comes to doing this type of stuff on the fly. So now let me see here. Let me move this up over here. Let me set this. Wait, let me move that there. All right. Now that's the subject. That's the guy. When you're setting this all up, let's say, for example, you're in the studio, you just bought all the equipment, you just got home, you would set up your green screen, make sure everything is set. You got that done. You would turn off the lights in your main room. In other words, any other external lighting that you have in the room, you want that off. You don't want your room light to be on. You want to use your equipment. You would first of all set up your key lights on their stands, and you would literally have them placed so they direct light on the green screen. Once you have that properly set, you would want to have your camera pretty much set at the same time so you could look at your monitor. And you want to basically look at the green screen lighting from the monitor's perspective and look at the left and right of the screen and make sure that the lights are balanced. You understand? Again, you want your green screen to pretty much be in a situation where it looks like that green screen that's in the background. You want the color to be the same on both sides. That's the whole point of lighting a green screen. You want it to look the same. So you would make sure you monitor it from your DSLR or your cell phone, which is connected to a monitor, so that you can monitor it, so you can make sure the lighting is the same on both sides, so that there is no dark spots in the corners or dark spots on the side, because that will make it a little more difficult to key out, right? So you would want to do that. And once all of that stuff is set up, you would light up your your ring light. You would want to light up the ring light so that that can pretty much illuminate the front of you without casting shadows on the background. That's the whole point of light in the background, so that when you put on your key light in the front, it's not causing shadows. If you have shadows in your green screen, that's going to cause problems when you're keying, because when you add in a background behind it, it's going to be, it's not going to look realistic, because you're going to see your shadow in the background. That's why I recommend that you stand at least 4 to 5 feet away from the green screen. The further away from the green screen, the better. You know what I mean? If you have a large room and you got a lot of real estate, you can do some great work when it comes to this type of production, right? So once you do all of that, right, you would record your stuff. I mean, hit record, man. Let's just go. Hit record. You know, everything is done. Your white balance on your camera is good. Green skin is good. You're sharp. Everything look good. One more tip. I have to make sure this is clear. When you're doing green screen work, make sure you're not wearing green. That's another thing that a lot of people fail to do. When you're doing green screen, you have to make sure that you're not wearing any green. This is why we have blue screens, and this is why we have green screens. If you know you're going to be wearing clothing that have green, then you would want to use a blue screen. Do you follow me? We're going to have to do that in another video so you can pretty much understand. But in a green screen production, no green clothing allowed. Anything that is green that's on you will be keyed out, just like the background. So when you're wearing clothing, when it comes to green screen, darker color clothing is preferably a better option, because it's easier to key out. You understand? You could pretty much wear any color you choose. You can, but it all depends on the software that you're using that can be able to key out the background, because some software have cheap, systems that can pretty much do a bad job when it comes to keying out the background, but some software will allow you to do greater work. You know, you got software from Adobe, you got, Final Cut, you got different types of software that can key out a background, very nicely. And it won't add no green on your clothing, or you won't see nothing. It will look perfectly sharp. Even your hair, everything will be keyed out properly. So this is what you want. You want to be able to take your production to the next level. That's the whole idea of green screen work. So if you're in the market and you want to take your content on YouTube to another level, you want to stand out from the crowd. You want to show people that, you know what, it's time for me to take my content to the next level. Then you want to get involved in green screen production. A lot of people are doing it, but they're doing it wrong. You want to take it to the next level. You want to be as professional as possible so that when you go live and you're doing a live show and you're using green screen while live and it's professional, man, you're gonna stand out from the rest. You know what I mean? You're gonna stand out from the rest. And there's various sites you can get backgrounds from in terms of animation backgrounds. All of that I may cover in another video. I actually have a particular site that I have where I get all of my footage from, and I literally have a lifetime subscription, which means once you pay your fee, you have a lifetime subscription to the company, and you can pretty much download all of the footage, all of the background stuff, music, whatever you want. Even though I don't use the music, every pretty much song that you hear in my videos is my own personal production that I produce. But to make your videos even more exciting and much better, you want to have sound effects, music, and you could get that from various sites to take your production to the next level. That's why I enjoy using Elgato products, because it seems like everything they produce, it works seamlessly in a live stream setup. So with that said, I believe I covered a lot in this particular tutorial and basic instructions on green screen production 101 to kind of get you up and running, to kind of get you to the point where you can now move forward and you can pretty much do what you need to do to take your channel to the next level. It's very important, you know, to say the least, because as content creators, you know, a lot of times we struggle and we try to take our production to the next level and we don't know how. And a lot of videos out there make it a little difficult to pretty much learn and understand how to do these things. So I'm going to get into a lot of tutorials. You know, I might be doing this on my Ringo TV Raw channel and put out a lot of more content, you know, sharing tips on how to take your production to another level, understanding technology, computers, equipment, various forms of equipment, how to use the equipment and things like that. Things to get people up and running so that they can actually take their production to the next level. Because a lot of people, they just make videos and, you know, a lot of times the videos suck, quality suck, everything is trash, and you don't want to stay there. You know, if you're on YouTube, you want to make sure that your image on YouTube is as professional as possible so that you can engage with your audience and enjoy the benefits of growing your channel as the viewership increase because of the productivity and the production value. Production value is very important on YouTube. If you look at a lot of the mega channels, the bigger channels, a lot of them have stepped up their game production wise. And it's very important that you do that so that you can stand out, because this is a very competitive business. And at the end of the day, once you take it to the next level and you're more serious about your work, you'll begin to invest into it so that you're able to do better. So I'm going to make more tutorials. I hope that you enjoyed this one. This is very, very simple to do. Very easy. It's not complicated. Again, if you're using a DSLR camera, I highly recommend a ring light. Highly recommend a ring light. If you're using one, you can also put an attachment on for a cell phone. And all you got to do is just click record your footage with the background, and you can have a full green screen file so that you now can take into your software and you can edit and you could do what you need to do. And it's different types of production you can do. You can do live stream green screen work, live streaming with a green screen, or you can do creative work within your software, within Final Cut, where you filmed your production and then you brought it into the software and you edit in post. So there's different ways you can literally produce content. I'm gonna get into all those different types in a whole another video, because this one pretty much rambles a whole bunch of different things into one, and I don't want to keep you too long. We've been here for about 34 minutes. So with that said, thanks for viewing the show. This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.